Hey there, I know it's been out for a while now, but today I want to share a few thoughts on the Flashpoint update in Arc Raiders, which overall I think is pretty damn good, but I have some constructive criticisms, I guess I'll say. But yeah, let's talk about some of the good stuff real quick. The close scrutiny game type is absolute insanity, and I'd really love to know the name of whatever drug the devs over at Embark Studios were taking when they dreamt up that incredibly wild map condition. To those who haven't logged on in a while and might not be familiar, you launch into a raid, and then after a minute or two, you'll hear a giant assessor drone descending down onto the map. You start breaching into him like a bear trying to get into a beehive for a little bit of honey, and then bam, 19,000 arc get called down to your exact location, and they all start playing a fun game of hide the electrical cord. Among those assessor defending arc, by the way, is the all-new vaporizer enemy, which I think is real actual proof that Embark Studio devs read a bunch of people on Reddit and Twitter saying Arc Raiders is too easy, so they decided to make everyone eat their words by pouring all of their evil and hatred into creating the vaporizer. I truly say, without exaggeration, that the vaporizer makes the Rocketeer look like a toy drone. They are incredibly fast and lethal. Good lord, I hate them so much, and they are exactly what the game needed. Arc Raiders was getting kinda easy. Even the Queen and the Matriarch, which are supposed to be two of the most elite hard-to-kill enemies in the game, were starting to feel like very solved encounters. You've got entire teams of players whipping out their snap hooks, Spider-Manning up on top of them, and octuple deadlining them for an instant kill. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying the Matriarch is easier to kill than a Vaporizer, but Vaporizers absolutely keep you on your toes, and they make the Assessor event way more chaotic and fun. Even though, admittedly, the first time I played the event, I wasn't exactly a huge fan. Dude, nobody's shooting the arc, everyone's just... By the way, if you haven't played in a while and you're wondering why anybody would participate in such a crazy game type, it's because the Assessor event is the only way to get the Dolabra Legendary Shotgun, which doubles both as a shotgun and kind of a mid-range charge-up rifle. And while some people don't like being forced to play such a hectic game type in order to get a blueprint for the hot new weapon, I say, hell yeah, more of that please. I like it when the game forces you to get your hands dirty. The Assessor game type is high-level danger for a high-level reward. You have to risk getting your ass kicked either by the Arc or by enemy raiders, which can be very challenging, but at least it's exciting and it forces you to play smart. On the other hand, though, one thing that is kind of driving me crazy, and I'm begging Embark Studios to stop doing, locking any new loot at all, especially blueprints, to looting raider caches in the Hurricane event. I have no idea if I'm completely alone on this one, but holy shit. Tying blueprints for brand new weapons to looting in this event is psychological torture. If you're unfamiliar, the Hurricane is a relatively new map condition where the weather is really out of control and you can't wear any shields because the wind is so harsh it repeatedly deals chip damage. Which is fine, by the way, I don't really mind that aspect so much, but scattered around the map are these raider caches. And I will admit, those raider caches have some pretty good loot, which is awesome when you find one. What drives me up a wall, though, is that in order to find the damn things, you gotta run around in complete dead silence listening for their audio cues, which you can only hear if you're relatively close by. For the record, they sound like this. Which, yeah, kinda faint, and kinda hard to hear when you're running around in the middle of a fucking hurricane. I find this event so mind-numbingly boring and repetitive. And if you're thinking, well, if you don't like the game type, then just don't play it. Believe me, I don't want to. But again, it's the only way to get the Canto SMG Blueprint, which I want to get, so I kinda have to. And every time, it's the same damn thing. Before even loading into the map to begin with, you pull up a third-party website that shows you the possible location of every single raider cache that might be on the map. And for the record, God bless those websites, by the way. But yeah, you load into the map and you crank up your in-game audio as much as you can without going deaf from the ambient hurricane audio so you can listen for the raider cache beeping. Then you follow the third-party website map and run around the entire area in a circle, checking every possible location. But the problem is, everyone else on the map is doing the exact same goddamn thing. And because every player on the map is doing the exact exact same thing. You really only get to loot a few raider caches before you reach a point where every cache you find has already been looted. So you just surrender and load up another hurricane event and start all over again. To repeat, if I'm completely alone on this, just tell me, but I can't imagine that a lot of players out there enjoy running around doing literally nothing but audio maxing in a wind tunnel. It is so incredibly repetitive and boring, but again, I have to do it because it's the only way to get the blueprint for the Canto SMG. And by the way, I don't want Embark to kill the game type because it's kind of unique, and I'm sure some people out there probably really like it, but Jesus Christ, please don't make it the only way to get a blueprint for a hot new weapon. Include it as an option to get the blueprint for sure, but maybe include another, more exciting way of getting the blueprint. And on the subject of things maybe needing a shakeup, why don't we talk about the high gain antenna project real quick? Please don't get me wrong, I like that Embark Studios actually gives the player base stuff to do while they cook up new content in the background. I really appreciate that. But I'm kind of getting tired of these events that are basically just step 1, go out and find X resource. Step 2, bring it back to Speranza and dump it into a hole. Step 3, repeat. Again, I appreciate that it gives players something to do and you can get some nice rewards from doing it, but it's just kind of really repetitive at this point. And I know Embark Studios can be way more creative than that because they gave us that hidden in-game quest to unlock the guitar, you know, before it was obtainable for purchase at Speranza. That entire ordeal of pressing all the buttons in the right order in one run was kind of crazy, but incredibly creative and fun, and damn, I wish they would do stuff like that more often instead of vanilla resource gathering. But I don't want to be all negative. Again, lots of other stuff in the Flashpoint update has been great. The Arc are way more challenging now, not just the vaporizers, but there's more Arc everywhere, and it's funny to see shredders roaming free outside of Stella Montis. The new weapons in particular, I think, are both really fun, the Delabra and the Canto SMG. The Surge Coil is also hilarious, and I really like it when they add new troll items into the game. More of that, please. And I can't wait for the new large Arc enemy to come to the game, which I actually think is coming kind of soon, if I'm remembering correctly. I just really hope that for the next upcoming wave of content, blueprints aren't 100% locked to what I consider to be the most boring map condition currently in the game, and that maybe we have a community project that is somehow a bit more exciting. If you feel differently, by all means, let me know down in the comment section or just swing by the Twitch channel and tell me there. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.